Just about freedom. These large ones are these. Oh, hey, hear what they say. They're Reeboks.
Hey. Do they untie better?
What?
Do Reeboks untie better?
Yeah, that's what they say about big Reeboks.
Slippery.
I thought the name of this guy was UnchARTed, not Untied.
Slippery.
It's a slippery coat. So,
It's a slippery slope to that.
next piece, we would love to invite our guest associate for the final assistant.
David Grollman.
Don't cut my laces. I got shoe paranoia. That's what happens with breakaway robots.
Will this reach?
It will reach.
I should move to the podium. This is a piece by our friend Reed Optimist, who is with us tonight. I don't know that it has a title. But that's all I have to say.
That's all we got to do.
That's an honor.
This is orange juice.
How much is the Matthew Shepard?
Put some of these on.
It's the William Tell Overture.
That's why you were selected.
You're the only one with glasses.
Please aim.
Sorry, man. No oming, man. Come on. Not chill. Okay. Steve. That's the second one. I want some help with spitball.
Don't apologize.
By circular breathing.
Ooh, nice.
Why don't you just throw your shoe at me?
That's foundation building. Yeah, yeah. They always know when you're not wearing pants.
Too big. Too big.
It's gonna be like a shape. Is this a durational piece?
So we're done with the napkin. So we can like play the American anthem or the what?
American Idol.
Billy Idol.
Billy Idol.
Oh, hey! Explosives is supposed to take forever. That tickled. Tickle me almost.
You going in round two?
Yeah, round two.
Wait. No more track.
All right, good.
That's gonna take a lot of minutes.
Brother Kirk did it.
That's okay.
He's found his medium.
Chew on? Chew while I shoot?
It is big size editor.
Yep.
We're going for water.
I don't know. I thought this was going to be easier.
Yeah, what's easier than before?
He's right.
I got out low.
Nice tone though.
Oh, you put it at the end. Yeah, yeah.
So close.
I know. Okay, I was
Anybody got any spit?
I got some snot in this one.
That's my last one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got a little left over, but.
It's all worth it in the end, you know? No sliding, no teething.
Machine gun.
Okay, one more.
Don't do this. I'm going bottom.
All right, good.
Ready?
Bottom blow. Here we go. Last one. Pictures so we can be like posted immediately. Yeah.
Alright.
Wait, before you go. There we go. Thank you, everybody.
Eisenberg and Me. Eisenberg and Me, well, I'll explain. This is poems about Woodstock, the festival our Adam Foam ran this summer in the Boston Common. And so I wrote this in a 24-hour period, 46 poems in a 24-hour period about how part of the poem was imagining Woodstock, what it was going to be like, and my friends there, and part of it, memories of what I know about Woodstock 69, so it's a mix of those two things. Moon. Keith Moon rising as the moon set and the morning rose with him, handing him his sticks as he tossed a pair in the air. The bombs went off in the crowd, the psychedelic kids blowing their acid as Roger Daltrey blew his own song from the stage, Townshend going wild and smashing his guitar. The Who, the silver stars of Woodstock to Hendrix's gold, wearing the stars round their waist like silver belts, as Hendrix wore his on his head like a bandana stained with sweat and light. Eisenberg and Me. Eisenberg and Me, taking the drums and tucking them full of poems, tucking a chest full of gold and silver coins, thrown at us from the crowds. The crowds, they wanted more, loose pages of poetry torn to bits and shreds, and then to dust, stardust dripping from the sky. Sly Stone. Sly as stone on the river, washed by the foaming tide, salt from the distant sea, Sly standing as a riot going on took to the Woodstock stage. The family took their stride, flaunting their full-out funk, their chests of starry junk, strung out for all to see, dancing to the music. So they stand and stood, making lust from guitar wood, a new black shiny dream, chugging down the railroad with the steam of a dream. This is for my sister Jen's shepherd mix that she got from a shelter 11 years ago. For Zinnia. She was a gentle puppy, wore a red bandana, still does, laying her head in your lap at 11 early in the morning or at 11 at night. She knows the word for walk, for beach, for cheese. She'll beg for it even in speech, in wily, wailing, questioning tones. Shepherd mixed with traces of greyhound in her eyes and snout. She's sleek and fast and has the softest ears you've ever known. Coltrane. Coltrane's spirit rang throughout the show, rang in its blue guitars, hummed in its red drums. He died in '67, hepatitis C raging through his veins, the bane of a bad needle taken in the 1950s. He was always the last of the gang to do the drug, blood all over the thing, filling the dirty syringe as the crowds did Yasgurd's Farm 10 years later, hearing his saxophone in their sedated, amped up, intimate, and alienated ears, revved up like a love supreme, like the morning of Crescent, like the chants and mandala of Om.
Yeah, man.
Martyr. Bobby Kennedy, 60s key idealist, sat out the show in hell, waiting to be raised to his Catholic heaven, watching over his dozen kids running wild on the streets. The streets, Bobby knew them, how to pick a fight with the opposition, stating name and place of birth, Brookline, Mass, his father's home, stating his name and plan, ending the Vietnam War. Body drama. Bold enough to open, Burgio busting moves to the Tom Bug synthesizer, thin as a sheet of metal, Walter Wright holds in two hands, squelching the little dials in freeform sound, traveling light like light, no two beams alike. The beat, it's what goes on where it's at, the party of song and dance, of smoking and puffing up clouds with rain that falls back down on the song, light then heavy, keeping the smoking beat. "40 years and counting, the spirit of the 60s lives on, floating through mic and amp, floating through Boston Common. The sound sinks into ground, fertilizing flower, flaming the perfect petals with searing red traces." Jupiter. Mozart wrote 41 symphonies. Kate Lee played one on sonnet of his last night on piano after her friend played Coltrane's Naima and before she played the Beatles yesterday. The three greatest musical minds in one night, the Beatles were one mind. Jupiter was the 41st symphony, some say his greatest, or some say his 40th, in a haunting minor tone. Some say the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper is their 41st symphony, their Jupiter, and Revolver, their 40th. Though no one disagrees, A Love Supreme is the greatest album ever made. Ground Zero. I need a giant tower in the center of my room. A World Trade Center to house my CDs. They're lying tall and sprawled upon the floor. Tragedy. It's always tragic when things end. A play, a poem, a whole book of poems, a whole career. I'll never build the tower, never turn my kitchen into New York City. I'll never stop writing poems. Music will keep on flowing, material as it is, pushing, pulling, inspiring, popped out lines on a page, peopling the world with printed matter, no matter if they catch up, no matter that ground zero ices over.
So how do you all feel about compression? I mean, I used to suffer from compression. And it really wasn't so much a suffering as just one of those things that had to be overcome, endured, lived through. And it was so beneficial and good for me to work through my compression that I want to share it all with you. I want you to experience the joys of compression. I want you to get up close and personal with each other and occupy these interstitial spaces so that we might have a little more room to move around. So everybody, inhale and move toward the edges, toward the walls, toward each other, and make us a whole bunch of space. Now, Paul and I have been collaborating together for quite some time. And in our particular configuration, our duo, we call ourselves Amour, which has a meaning in some language they call French. Look it up, Google it, I'm sure it's in there. Oh, this is beautiful. I appreciate it. I like this. Excellent. This is wonderful. Thank you for indulging. Now, we've worked up a piece, actually Paul's structure. He calls it text without irony. I defy you. I challenge you to detect even the smallest particle of irony in what we are going to present in the next few moments. So, with your irony detectors well primed, we now present to you the text without irony. And one more key thing. This is out. This is out. You got this? What is this? Out. Bingo.
It's still day. And there's people boosting the minor league baseball team in suits on the street. I found a pasta on the floor. Joe scrunches up his fingers. My wife and I are engaged in a power struggle. The ceiling is black, and the walls are light. A lot of art is two-dimensional in here. I don't shave closely before I go out in cold weather. Baggy clothes represent a more relaxed attitude. House cats are vulnerable. A lot of the mills were water powered, and now we have electricity. keyboard leaning against the wall. If a fire came, we would all get wet. I never used to listen to the Grateful Dead. I made up a joke about an internal combustion penguin.
Pomerance. Zoetrope. Esplanade. Egg salad. Dormitory, yellow. Wisdom. Mechanical lipid. Dominion. Rankle even. No. Open, nil. Legerdemain, mordant, thaumaturgy, yurt. Troglodyte, entertainment. Tomography, yow. Whales, simulacrum, minuscule, effervescence. Entropy. Yippee European nosegay. Yet thud. Drains samovar redolent threnody.
They invented this city in Brazil, and it didn't work out so well. I've started thinking that rose is an acceptable scent. They keep saying the bridges are going to fall down. Jack Kerouac was born somewhere around this area. end of the Twinkie was considered really a big thing. And suddenly, there were so many generic Twinkies in great prominence. I'm not sure if the color of the wood or the little scratches and indentations or the squared off corners of the wood attract the eye more. Josh's son stayed at the window until we drove away, looking longingly after his father.
Market basket, Fletcher, Broadway, local corn is up to 5 for $1.79. That's how we know summer's over. When asked, local tomatoes, the produce clerk sneers, points, potatoes. I spot loose red onions, bag 2, then small reds, package 6 on green foam for less. The first selection is abandoned beside bell peppers. Produce clerks roll, stock cart, braggadocios into cell phones. My indiscretion unnoticed, eyebrows, tomatoes, hothouse, plump, and tasteless. At checkout, a carton of eggs hides in the candy bars. A dozen reasons why not abandon every question. Outside, heat lightning fills the fluid horizon. Gauzy, light, miles wide behind clouds, lights them like firefly bellies, the size of cities. On the storefront glass refractive index, 3-acre babes talking between cars. A can slides into a handbag on aisle 4. Ghosts on glass juxtapose conversations. Heat lightning in the sky makes stage things. Through the lot, a slowly town car, lost with official tags on unofficial business. Passenger window down in the cell. We don't come into Lowell that often. The town man driving has another set of keys for a private gas hog back home, but that's their nickel. Lowell's very finest squad car approaches. White with blue gold stripes, low speed, no lights, sudden unmarked cars, keystone in from all directions, flashing dreamy lights, dim behind grills, then towny bumper strikes Crown Vic quarter like that, stopping caught. The passenger's cell phone pops, the plane explodes through the open window, shatters on goalpost line, asphalt parking lot at Market Basket, and unfinished words ride airwaves. From his report, the cop deletes the phone, the town car, and its passenger, terrified, begging, pleading, wishing the odometer roll back, not the pension. This is an ode to Lexus SUV driving women in their automatic heated seats. Luxury and knowledge. There are many ways to say cock, she announces. How do you say it? Added to forms, dislocated from love, lost. Yes, that cliche, lost from love. We bring out the dead metaphor, get it sweaty, panting, with each resurrection an exclamation, Jesus! Salty, Christ! Stinky, I want to be your bitch bouquet. An hour out of bed, across the table among your friends, they're talking cock again. I see by your smile you're wet with luxury and knowledge. I wish I could bend far enough to lick the sensory memory of you from my shaft and say to your friends what I know, this knowledge in my mouth, which I hold open like a chalice. Drink it. After 2 more drinks, they'll screw me standing in the Manolos, one by one. For now, they laugh at my loss of inhibition, the sight of my quickly flicking tongue behind my closed lips. They sense the movement, they hear its wet hummingbird sound, close, dig in with manicured nails, marking the plush velour of one tight ride. This knowledge I give only to you. For Robert Creeley, he talked about form and content, which he paraphrased from Buddha's Heart Sutra, which says form is emptiness, emptiness is form, form is no other than emptiness, and emptiness is no other than form. He said form is no other than content. This is called chloroform and malcontent. The title of my poem introduces new language, elusive language, gauge language. Laugh at me. Hearts break, sutra form, dashed hopes for Godot form, gas chamber form, a good buzzing like a cousin in a virgin wave form, stinky finger side of the brainstorm. Wave it beneath my olfactory and let the turbines churn. Abysmal content still waiting. Where are you at, my virgin? Mobile? Alabama, Southern man form, leech on a peach form, malcontent and form, Clorox form, dragged through the furrows form, malcontent and formless, boiled like a bagel, burst like a boil, river locks raise my form, downstream up a Main Street form, impermanent, a line without a text form, submerged in a sub-object, eject, reject, inorganic material form, content, my love, mal, content, formless like a discontent form, a restless content unable to form, a formless tent, not the factory school revival kind of form, not the Ford Model Maddox, but the form is content form, uniform, formless form, shifting to Charon's form, rising through the locks, bursting through latex, unable to hold a form, a contented, Malkovichiistic form, outside a norm, wishing to live in a sorority dorm, a brute in Dorothy Parker-esque form, malcontent is form, content is chloroform. The Iranian reactor Black Ops virus, Stuxnet. I thought, what if it got loose in downtown Lowell? The B side of Stuxnet. It keeps coming, even though everyone wishes it would stop. That feeling in his gut when he texts, notice her, not noticing you in the rear view. He will save the caricatures from himself. The all I'll allow free pass he hands out when there's nothing to gain is not the best time to mess around with him. He knows people know better and reach for something not there, but they do it almost every time. He has learned to anticipated pause, the unfailing failure, that his natural success stops mercifully short, actually almost winking in the act. The veneer is thin over his bulging, outsized, truly superior, network-invading personality. The virus is drinking again, too. The sponge was always there for your information. Sticky Fingers Griswold in bed with People magazine. One day, the Homeland Security cameras downtown edited together following an insidious overwrite of the Iran reactor worm that became intelligent on the server at the bank across the street. After the branch manager's kid clicked download, something sticky took hold and began to revolve. The shadow network quietly watched and waited, then, having learned everything, went, quote, on the blink, unquote, along with a number of condos, Wi-Fi, and rude awakening, hijack some poor kid's anime studio software, turning recently imported photos of all her little friends into avatars of evil, marching out from the condos onto Middle Street against whomever it willed. Last one. This is for David Amram. I think we all love the idea of spontaneity of music and poetry, and David and Jack did a great job with it. Continuous not knowing until it is revealed, and then forgetting immediately to keep now coming. For David Amram, he backed Jack with jazz. Jazz jacked back. Jazz Jack Rabbit ran, Jazz Jack Amjack, Amjazz, into the AM with Amram. On Buddha's breath, Jack Rabbit floats, jazz to Jack, nobody took notes.
Stephan, Anstey.
This is called spontaneous poetry. I was walking down the street and they dragged me in. So this is what you get when you drag me in off the street. Smartphone. All right. The title of this poem is First Frost After the Farmer Died. Yes, I am the crow. You know, black, winged and raw, voiced, and you know, me when I call. If you waited for me for the unbearable length of an unrepeatable moon, you would see how heavy the tide, how light is borne on the backs of cows, too slow to get back to the barn. Yes, you are the owl. I dream when I dream. Who might breathe in the darkness? Who might dream me back, touch by touch, like the memory of a hard fuck in a cold barn? Call me back from the summer night, so the autumn might remember the wind that warmed and never bit the stone, the hard, cold stone that weighted down the dawn, and scandalously, as the dark forgot the moon, call me yours, I am yours, crowing about the sex we both hide so carefully. This one's called A Crystal Sun Catcher. If I were going to love, I would love in purple upon a turtle's back. I would be the sun, warm him until he smiled and swam happy through the cool, endless sea of stars. If I were going to be loved, I would be loved in green, like the son of a turtle pushing out slowly from the rubbery shell and the darkness, until I too could know the stars and sweetness of an eternal sea. If I were love, I would be colorless and hopeless and kind, a refraction of light in the every heart, dancing upon the always sea, alone and naked with everyone. And I think I'll finish with thinking about the human soul. Perhaps you guessed the truth. If I was a plate, I'd be a paper plate, covered in dead insects and spiders, songless crickets, and wings that no longer remembered flight. I'd be away from lips and men in the dark recesses where cool comfort holds my mother. I'd be neatly organized as a palette for the story of legs that no longer creep, and the poetry of boats that do not crawl, bodies that do not crawl. I'd take all the homes of all the paper wasps and wet them down and smear them flat and dry them out and become a tissue canvas for cheap red and green ink flowers. This is the truth. If I were a plate, I'd be a paper plate, wishing all the legs upon me would walk and rush and drive down to the heart of every matter, ready to carry lips and teeth and the scarier parts of the living creatures that I am so afraid of to sting and bite and teach the painful lessons kept close to dirt and stone or in the back of cabinets forgotten. Thank you.
Didn't make it. You were supposed to have that.
All right.
They spelled my name wrong here also, just like Walter spelled it wrong, so what the hell?
What the hell?
It's called Bird in Paradise. The dead river is now transparent, the dead angels redeemed. He called me up excited, energy midnight said, tomorrow's Jack's birthday, visiting his grave. Want me to leave one of your poems for him? Sure, I said, and I told him one. Our minds move in horizontal ocean, an abstraction of horizontals. We visit paradise, return, visit paradise again. He arrived at your grave in the rain and placed my poem beneath the wreath. He met some others there and left to drink the warm red wine and wail some in the rain while birds sang sweet bird notes. When he returned, all that remained were your stone, your wreath, and your remains, but my small poem had disappeared. Jack, stirring up more visions, 3/12/55, some new riffs of improvised blues, Hosanna birthday. When Bird blew out in front of the TV, extinct and down for the final count at the Countess's joint. When Bird flew into the TV, stoned like premonition, Hosanna death day. And every year thereafter, how you must have wept, Jack, a small poem disappeared. In paradise, the lion still licks the lamb. The lamps of love stay lit. In paradise, dead words are resurrected, dead rivers reborn. In paradise, dead angels are redeemed. In paradise, my poem is now in paradise, my blues in paradise too. In paradise, the bird and poet sing. And I made a mistake. I wasn't in Lowell. I read the poem to the guy over the phone and he put it on his grave. It did, you know, it did disappear. So I'm going to dedicate that poem to my friend Richie Hoerman, who worked at Berkeley, who was the guy who put the poem on the grave, and he sadly died at 40 years old about 5 years ago. Dear Richie. And anyway, yeah, whatever. In paradise. I'm dedicating the rest of my end of the gig to two dear friends who passed away in the last couple of months, actually. The great poet Jane Cortez and Butch Morris. So the first piece I'm going to start off with is a piece written for Butch, who did something musically called conduction. It's called Conduction Is. Now I'm not going to talk about the poems after that. One thing is just going to go into another thing, and you figure it out and I'll figure it out. And wherever it ends, it ends. Walter said I have a half an hour, so Walter will yell at me when the half hour is up. He'll yell X, right, Walter? X! X that fucking guy off the stage. So you want me to start first? Where's the drummer?
You're the drummer.
Want a drummer?
You're the drummer.
Come on, Walter.
Yeah, you're the drummer.
Walter!
Okay. If you bang the drum, I'm going to tell you to stop slowly.
Yeah, just yell at him. He's really yelling.
Oh, Mike never been.
Wasn't that a book, Bang the Drum, Stop Slowly? Okay. Enough.
Bang the drummer solo.
I am a failed comedian. Okay. So this is for Butch and Jane, and then it's just going to keep going. Conduction is insert, remove, revert, divert, and move an entrance into a trusted blind allegiance, a new kind of freedom, bridging space, dome of the rock, what's inside the stone, infusing ideas with passion. Papaliga as the train of music moves, conduction. As the clouds pile through the speaker of logic, wangle, mangle, mingle, tingle, mangle, wingle, tangle, mangle, pulsing portraits of unlimited possibilities. Life melodies, solar flexes, weaving charge miles toward the greater journey, a way to shape, reshape, connect, instant graffiti and gratification, disconnect and reconnect. Interlocking and unlocking, immediate social and musical network flow. As the flame itself, right down to the bone, sweating glass of daydreams, diverse, significant, appropriate evening out, serendipitous, charged, moving, textural, evocative, challenging, conventional, and traditional expectation, powerful communication and emotional, a new way in which music is composed and played, something that makes one think spontaneously. Resonating, interpretive, we mean real spontaneously here. Resonating, interpretive, forward-looking, significant, subversive, submersive. A way to shape audience expectation. A way to make audience and musician one. Textural, thematic, melodious, dynamic, tonal, repetitive, modulated, gentle, connecting the room with the zoom. It's in the basic fabric, pulsing harmonic waves, river into sea, sea to endless sea, responsive fluid, moving toward a greater journey, charged with miles of mobile, invisible apparel, crescendo causing, punctuated, swelling, echoing, divergent, suggestive, rhythmic, thematic, orchestral, syncopated, melting, bottomless, emotive and profound, knowing, soaring heartbeat, interplay breath, explosive. Butch was a real dandy. Butch, I wish wish I had those dancing shoes. Butch, butch, breath, butch, butch, disappearing into concentrated bursts of appearing, reappearing, and disappearing. Buzzing punctuation. Punctuation is repeat, 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 repeat. Smooth, combative, intuitive, astonishing, absolute energy. Aspiring, inspiring, smooth, 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 syncopated, free structure, rising, rolling, timeless current of sound, resonant, throbbing, pulsing emotion, unifying cadences, gliding, guiding, arousing, illuminating, suggestive, melodic, allowing, swirling patterns, pulling and releasing, interpretive, evocative, moving and demanding. It's a means to expand, to contract, to compress, to express, a way of sticking together, receding tide, onslaught of waves, strength of vocabulary applied, spontaneous interpretation of the score, process, moving through moving through sharp staccato, subtle, incomprehensible magic, the elegance of a solo, arpeggios, a wash of melodies, keeping the tonal thematic consistency, foundations that support soaring beyond itself, gentle currents that stir beneath, then explode to ultimate resonating tonal punches, devastating crescendos, surrounding the silence of the challenge within the noise of there is no illusion left, this illumination and this creation, there's only reality. Reality. There's only reality. Sound and motion intertwined, varied and self-perpetuated. The river conducted down to the sea, the stream of the scene of the unseen, of the waves going back and forth and back and forth. And the sea accepts the river as the two mix and mingle, direct hands on alive, naked as the conductor of a train of thought moves circumstances. Circumstance becomes unhinged by chance and discovery. And the plick, a swish, a swish, a swish, and the swoosh, and the plick, and the swash, and the swoosh, and the dome of the rock. And what's inside the stone, whole and fragmented, unlocking the mind, the soul, the spirit, the heart, the flesh, insides and outsides, transformative and transitional, expansive and extending, hot, looming, medium, finishing with brilliant beginnings, life melodies, breathing, always breathing. The sea accepts the river, and the two mix and mingle. River into ocean, ocean becoming sky, and the two mix and mingle. Ahava, ahava, Zarethle, ahava, Vilavetsa, Vasti, Paksinta. Ahepek, Sirem, Moavide, Godvide, Galehe, Lesgrabe, Ahebet Rectem, Premlif de Yeserem Queza, Paxita, Villeta, Vatrefista, Ahava, Ahava, Amore, Mohaba. Kovano, Kocha, Ben Uliv, Pelups, Hulu, Anyu, I Kochani, Ukochana, Ukochani, Rakadentusini, Amore, Sakuchene, Jestem, Sakuchene, Ahava Bachinsta, Ahava Zaretle, Balitza, Leafstem. Agape, Sagapo, Yasukalihaso, Rakadem Tutisini, Yaliblitepia, Les Grab Heavens Rectem Brain Eye, Hub Witalawud. Salam. 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 Outside, the streets are potholes and hills. It's the first snow's rain. Inside, the world is ugly. Climbers find their way to the top. The bottom blushes. The world is cramped and ugly. The lines are drawn. The space is paced. He says he was abducted by aliens in the 60s. Arms drooping with wounds, blue feet swollen, dollars delivered as stigmata. We are all aliens. We must have all been abducted. The light surrounding the last stinging leaves, the light, the very light, abducted. The final games of the next final year, wearing golden circles around our muscles, the holy grail, rewriting history in a futile attempt to search for our ancestors, those that never existed in the first place, those that will be left at last. We have no origin. We must have all been abducted. It's my third day in a foreign body, cloudless gray old city, pointing to a window of smoked eel and cold cuts, cut shaving, my dream of young boys stealing young girls' youth. The clouds, what can I say about the clouds? The very clouds, the stream says something, it must have been abducted. The trees, this obsessive behavior, converting dollars to demons, counting over and over and over again. My sleep, my very sleep, it must have been abducted. The wind abducted. Coal mine, soft beer, salami, coffee, salam, salam, salami, coffee, salam, salam, salami, coffee, salam, salam, tea, everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. McDonald's, forest, trash, big dogs, small dogs, abduction, nettles, brick, horse shit, toilets, young boys stealing young girls' youth. Night and its cohorts, moon meets sky. Art without connection. Over and over again, hours without connection, limbs without connection. Merchant. Terrorist on a suicide mission without a mission. Flirting with information. If it works, I will call it street, airport, date, desire, boom, number, bleeding, pocket, mustard, embrace, poetry, diarrhea, sources, assuage, speech, butter, fun, spoilage, pothole, hill, snow, ugly, bottom. The bottom's up, it must have been abducted. The breathing bee abducted, light in lighthouse, soap, prayer, survival, trauma, accident, lost, skyscraper, future abducted, country without connection, flirting with information, half spoon, shot, shiitake sliced, my muscles caught in the broth, skin partially peeled, a ball knife, brooding, solitary jack-off, already the lonely powers of state, usurping the tenement streets, the fallen lamps, they must have all been abducted. Structures and machinery dissolved in the green salt of nothing and nowhere alone. Tender mercies surely abducted. Wrapped within a confession of shame, piece of meat half-baked on the street, vegetating gizzard crouching on a window ledge, transformed the frame of the beat-up musician beating against the frame of the old institution with his fingers scratching and clicking the deep groove of the needle, resounding with his pulse, the pop and the sugar and the cup and the soul-rending creak, all abducted. The mountains atop the tracks, beneath the pebbles upon my skin, beneath the skin itself, hungry neighbors gnawing at my plaster walls, rust-colored vocal cords. It's difficult. It's difficult. It's It's difficult. It's difficult to stop breathing. It's my very breath, it must have been abducted. Responding over and over again, story without connection, life without connection, song without connection, radio stream, ripple bell, over and over and over again. 3 days in a foreign body. The lower money hierarchy, abducted. Ultimate shrink wrapped star, abducted. The gates of heaven and hell, abducted. Newly resurrected pipes, abducted. Lawyers, doctors, pawnbrokers, bankers, all abducted. These hands and these feet, all abducted. These eyes and these thighs and this well-fed belly, all been bellyaching epiphanies, movies, shadows, blankets, wallets, keys, givebacks, and paybacks, insatiate incantations, abducted bridges, wells, springs, enchantment, all abducted, sawdust, ashes, footholds, poor dead, intertwining regulators, mass graves, all abducted, 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 abducted. You better come on in my kitchen. It's going to be raining outdoors. You better come on in my kitchen. Going to be raining outdoors. Switchback, bait, plectors, blinger, plutzer, banger, plinger, pluxer, blang, a jangle in the true sense. Nerve wires shouted calmly, convening delicates, careening, scary, pressing press, gourmet, wrapped man, loving the eating, loving the eating, loving the eating. Restaurants is tuned, standards play, tune in, out of go, 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 go out of way, go, solo, duo, trio, go out of way, in good company, the go, the valve open to the exhaust of the exhale, ashes of the ashes of the scattered Elizabeth on the kilter and the skelter and the kilter of the off minor, off Soho, vivala, minuti, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-la, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-la, and a cat of the scales all balanced, scattered Elizabeth, sweet drone in a pick and you use, you make a pick and the using their teeth and the Silverio tireless booty balance beauty, spinning pits and with the mobile chattering I sumo wallet through the scaffold as I hung there. Plectorist as a rain sail running through the craggy cheek of the sail of the rain and the sail of the craggy surgeon driving Papia and the homesteading Diggy of food and the developer of the sound conveying careening in the delicately homesteading in the music of pedicracked and the hat in the hand and the hand in the hat and where you wanna be down here in the lower east, Rosa, Requesto, Arosa. It's all in the time and anyway the intimate timing and the out and the out and the in and the out and the out and the in and the out and then you better come on in my kitchen. It's gonna be raining outdoors, striking the strung and the lights and the holiday as you die in the eve of the miraculous birth and you're born again in the shadow of immaculate light and the immaculate shadow of a voice and a box and a light and a bridge and a sword and a down and a up and a sword and a delicate stroke and a stunning and a straining and a train and the music and the stone and the stone and the stone in your head and the end of the spinning and the kahala and the walking and the spanning and the flagging and the fire and the gymnast turning around the spoon and 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 the perfect moon and the cloudy night and your portrait hanging on the wall and your theory of strings unwound, unstrung, unhard, unpearls, unsound, unhung, unloop and a loop and a loop and a pling and a ting and a doof and the mission and the challenge and the talent and the challenge and the holla and the challenge and the action and the better and the cater and the better and the better and the better and the cater and the better and the cater and the better and the better and the better and the better. You better come on in my kitchen. Gonna be raining outdoors. You better come on in my kitchen. It's gonna be raining outdoors. And the river mingles with the ocean. And the ocean becomes the sky.
Shayna and I've done a few duets and we always enjoy each other. And she doesn't know what's in the content of this writing except the title Anonymous Landscape, which is much longer piece, and I'm doing this improvisational situation for this particular setting, Xfest version.
Festival version.
Yes. I like to talk about this particular writing a little bit because I gave myself an assignment to write something about the anonymity of our existence, which sounds kind of too philosophical, but when you think about it, nothing in the whole world, in the universe, never had names until human gave names. Trees, we gave them names. They don't know they have names. You and me, our parents gave us names. When we were born, none of us had names. So I started to think about how anonymous everything is in the whole universe. Even the cosmos, we gave name to, make it be called cosmos. So that's the whole content of this writing and the spirit of the writing. And I'll just start. Here you are. Anonymous landscape. Hallways, a hallway. No noise, no one, no numbers, no names. Anonymously unified doors. No floor numbers either. Outside the window, no noise, just wind, roofs with no names, no towers with names to sell anything. Streets, corners, crossings, lampposts with no names. A nice big bird on the roof. Not a pigeon, not a sparrow, not a hawk, not a crow. It's eating something with no name. Hopping on the roof with no name. It flew away. I love trees, but I don't want to talk about them too much now. Maybe later I will. A room with no noise, but the sound of a bell ringing through the glass window with a shutter. Wind and its sound with no shadow in the sky which has no name. Anonymous signs, anonymous houses, anonymous habitats, anonymous family crests, devils and angels, bleeding hearts and roses. They all cry out in one anonymous voice, saying, "Help me!" His heart was stabbed by a knife. The world was bright like a red umbrella in a rain. A bird flew away, carrying a letter to someone unknown. The day was like a beautiful hat worn by a shy girl. Rules of the game, shared and understood by no one. Faces buried in a cave with no masks on. A banquet held for everyone. Table full of screaming silence beyond fear. It's me, it's me, it's me again. That's me too. Here again, it's me, it's me, it's me, it's all me. White masks with no eyes, white masks with no mouth. It's me again. Here it is, me again. Like endless faces sitting on a hill, it's all endless variations of anonymous me. Twisted and tied up at randomly with no particular reasons. All my toys are forced to metamorphosize themselves to a silenced voice on the wall. Color of the wall is faceless. Laughter over anger. Please, no matter what. Keeping a petty accounting book can be hazardous to your health. Whether you are known or unknown. Clarity beyond clarity. Sanity beyond sanity. Logic against logic. Reason. A door to an empty utopia closes itself like a repetitious sexual fantasy with no title. Forget about the world full of peace-loving families. Let's weave anonymous logic words cannot explain into clothes, shoes, bags, instead. Haves keep stealing from have not. Red or black. It's all about savagery of a survival game. Social capitalism.